Hi everyone, for today's video I'm going to be doing a monthly roundup. I did one last month and this is definitely something that I want to continue throughout the year. But these products are from the month of February, so these are the products that I tried out in February. So the first product I'm going to be applying today is the Lissa Secure Skin Gripping Serum Primer, and this is for pore and shine control. It is also cruelty-free, vegan, and gluten-free. This brand is brand new to the market. It just launched this month. It is Black owned and clean, and they are sold in Sephora. This was a pretty big launch in my opinion. I was really looking forward to this launch just because I knew it was going to be Black owned and clean and cruelty-free, vegan. I knew that they were going to give us shade range and color selection. So I was really looking forward to this launch. They launched on Valentine's Day and I bought directly from their website before they launched on Sephora. But unfortunately, the two foundation shades that I got don't really match me. They are kind of way darker than me right now. I do think the TG5 will end up looking perfect for the summertime, but then the TN3 is, it's quite off in terms of undertone, but I do want to film a full review on the line. I just know that these aren't completely my shades, and I kind of want to go back and get a shade that I would better suit. This is from their tan range, and when I used their foundation shade finder, I even used one of the lighter shades in my collection to find a shade match, and the tan collection is what came up. The tan 5G is what came up. But this is what the tan 5G looks like. It's not too far off, and like I said, I know that this will be a perfect summer shade for me, or even just like when I start getting a base tan, I think I'll be able to wear it on its own. But to kind of color correct this foundation, at least for now, and since this isn't like a review, another product that I kind of was able to try this month is the Revlon Color Stay Light Cover Foundation, and this is in the shade 220. I'll have to swatch for you all of the shades that Revlon sent over for these. They did send this in PR, and the shades that they send are so off. They are in the medium skin tone range, which doesn't sound like it would be off, but they are so light. I haven't looked up their shade range for this foundation, but I was shocked to see how light those foundations were. I was like, these are not matching anyone that is near my skin tone. But I have done this a few times this month where I will mix the Revlon foundation in with the Lissa foundation, and it ends up actually looking so gorgeous. So that is what I'm doing today, and I'll probably end up skipping concealer. But yeah, the combination of these two is really great. I also kind of like that the Revlon Light Coverage Foundation kind of shears out the Lissa one, because the Lissa foundation is so full coverage, and that is great for many people, but sometimes I really just don't want that. And since I have been pretty much wearing the Lissa foundation like almost every day since I got it, I do like to switch it up because I don't really like wearing full coverage every day. I do think I used maybe a bit too much of the primer. I can't tell if it's the primer or the foundation, but sometimes the product will separate and start bunching on my skin. Let me see if you guys can see up close. Yeah, can you guys kind of see that product kind of separating and like peeling around my nose? On my chin too, hold on. On my chin, it's kind of like separating a little bit. I was really hoping that wouldn't happen today because it's only happened a few times, but it's definitely like concerning when it happens. I don't want that to happen. So these are the shades that Revlon sent me. These are very light in my opinion. The first one over here is 210 Creme Brulee. The next one is 220 Natural Beige. And then this one is 240 Medium Beige, I believe is what these are. Yeah, these are just so light. Like, who at Revlon thought that this was my color? I don't know. Dang, this foundation is really just peeling off. I kind of was thinking about messaging Revlon and being like, hey, like I really was interested in trying out this foundation, but you guys sent me the wrong shades. Like, can we get other shades sent in? But I never ended up doing that. I'm just going to try and fix my chin. Sometimes I'm thinking that the Lissa foundation and primer react that way because of the sponge application. Although I do really like, you know, how the rest of my face looks with the sponge. All right, we are going to keep going though because I am getting ready for work and I just need to roll with it. But yeah, sometimes the Lissa, I think it's the primer. I really think it's the primer, which kind of bums me out because I do like how that primer feels and I like how it looks on the skin. And I feel like in terms of gripping primers, that primer is like pretty good. I just need to know how to work with it and I feel like I'm still kind of learning. But the next product I'm going to be using for my February product roundup is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze. And I've been using this nearly every single day and I've been really liking it. Yesterday it did give me some problems where I was needing my brows to stay up and they just simply weren't. But typically I do really like this product. I do need to make sure that my brows are like wiped clean before I use this product because it will definitely like highlight and bunch up any product that's in my brows, and especially if it's like powder or foundation, it just looks like white flakes in my eyebrows. And that's just not cute. But yeah, the brow freeze, I just go in before I add my brow color, which I don't have any new brow colors to share with you guys today. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I do have a little bit of like white flakes going through my brows over here. And it ends up like not looking like that big of a deal once I have the color in my brows, but I just really don't want all of that in there. I feel like this video is not really going that well, but I don't know. It's just kind of like a bunch of mini reviews, so it is what it is. I am going to move on though. I do like the brow freeze to kind of like sit and set on my skin, but I am going to go in with the, well, I've been calling it Lissa. I think it's just Liss. I'm going to go in with the Liss Beauty No Limits Matte Bronzer, and this is in Harmony Medium. I love this bronzer and the shade of this bronzer for my skin tone. It is a perfect shade. They do have a pretty decent shade range in terms of the bronzer and even their blush and their foundations. And this bronzer is just so beautiful. The shade is perfect for me. It's pretty much exactly what I go for. And I do use the light layer blush brush for this application because I don't want like too much of the product being deposited at once. I also have been using this bronzer before I set my skin with powder, so I need to make sure that it's going on top of like my cream base, my like foundation and stuff really nicely and smoothly. Yeah, far away my makeup looks pretty good. It's not looking like too terrible. I feel like I fixed a lot of the weird patchiness that was going on. And it usually is fine throughout the day. Like once I'm able to make it through and make my skin look like smooth and not patchy, I'm fine and I don't have any problems throughout the day. But it's just that initial like peeling of the foundation and whatnot as I'm blending. But I think I might have used just too much of the primer. I need to find a better balance with like how much of the primer I should use and how I should apply the foundation on over top of it. I wish it wasn't that finicky though, because like it's kind of my job, or like the job that I've given myself to make these products work for me and like work with them until I figure them out. But like, you know, regular consumers who are picking up this primer and it's like just immediately not working for them, that's kind of a bad look. I'm just blending out some primer on my eyelids because I am going to go in with some eyeshadow. I definitely think around my mouth it's looking not great. Like the foundation and stuff is looking not that good. But I am moving on. I do have the Urban Decay Wild West palette, and they did send this to me. This is not really a palette that I would have picked up on my own. And yeah, it's just kind of like is cute. She's cute. I will say though, I did get some makeup sent to me by Makeup by Mario, which was like, when I got that email, I was so surprised. And this is the Glam Quads Bronzy Glam. And I had to have my eyes on this because it is perfect. It is like a perfect little quad for me. Maybe this is like a little bit too gold, green gold, but it's perfect for me. It's so cute. I do kind of feel like you guys would be a little bit more interested in seeing the Urban Decay Wild West palette, but I am going to go first in with Spur and Nudie. I'm going to mix those shades together and create kind of like a base shade for my crease. Now I'm going to go in with Ghost Town and Whiskey. So these shades right here. I do really like that they put Whiskey in this palette because I love the Whiskey eyeliner. You know, Whiskey being in an eyeshadow shade, it's a good move. But I just don't really understand why Urban Decay released this palette. It just seems like a palette that should have been released like years ago when like the neutral pops of blue were in and like big. Obviously, I love how these shades are blending out. They are, you know, your classic Urban Decay shades, although I feel like the mattes in this palette do carry the palette. I used this gold yesterday, the Hold'em gold, and it was kind of like chunky and flaky and just, yeah, chunky and flaky. I'm gonna look at what people did like looks wise for this palette. Wait, these swatches make the palette look so appealing, but it just kind of like doesn't feel that way. I think I am gonna use Cowboy Rick. I'm going to use this very flat eyeshadow brush to apply it. I might actually, right off the bat, use a little bit of Fix Plus. I knew the shade would look super silvery on me, but that doesn't mean that it'll look bad. I'm gonna try and smooth out this eyelid. That was my only concern with using a little bit of Fix Plus with these shadows, is I did not want that like kind of chunky foiled effect to happen, and it's kind of happening. But and then I'm gonna take Rustler, this like brownie shade, and I'm taking it on a like fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to apply it where my matte shades and that like silver shimmer shade meet, just so I can kind of merge the two of them while also kind of like making that silvery shade not look too bam in your face. And I'm kind of like pressing that shade over top of the silvery shade. So the silvery shade is like most intense right in the inner corner. That actually looks really pretty. I'm gonna take a little bit more of Ghost Town and Whiskey mixed together and make sure that my like outer corner has enough of that product or that shade kind of right in there. I'm gonna take a little bit of Standoff, so this shade over here, and kind of working it right above all of my blending in my crease. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of Cowboy Rick and kind of put it in the inner corner. I need to get some powder on my skin. I have the Kosas Comfy Cloud Set, like the comfy shade, and I was using this yesterday and it just was not picking up color. I tried to scratch off a little bit of the top layer because I was like, oh, it might be like a little bit oily in there, but it just like wasn't doing anything. I'm trying to use a little bit of it now, but I think I'm just gonna use the Lissa translucent powder. Not Lissa, the Liss translucent powder. And kind of try and brush away any fallout. And while I'm here, I might as well get the rest of my skin. But yeah, this is what the powder looks like. It's the Resilience Translucent. I don't remember how many shades there were in this powder lineup, but I think maybe like 6. And then for my under eyes, I'm going to be taking Ghost Town and Whiskey and kind of like connecting those. Do not have a new mascara this month to try. Thank goodness, because I just have so many mascaras I need to go through. The majority, like my last monthly roundup, the majority of the products I have were sent to me just because I'm really not buying makeup that much right now. I just have too much of it, and you know, I'm really grateful for the brands that send me product, but that's kind of like the extent of me getting new products at the moment because I'm really trying not to buy too much right now. I'm taking Standoff from this palette and I'm like kind of, I don't know, like not, I'm kind of using it to set my under eyes, just being honest, but I just kind of felt like it needed a nicer blend, and my inner corner was not looking good, so I just thought that maybe Standoff would help it a little bit. This is looking good, and now I'm going to put a little bit of mascara on my lower lash line. For my brows, I also don't have a new brow product, aside from the Brow Freeze, of course, but like for color. So I'm just using the Anastasia Dip Brow, and I'm placing that product where I need it in my brows. So that is what my brows look like with a little bit of color. I think it makes so much of a difference. So I did get the Liss Cream Blush. I got it in the shade Confident, and it's gorgeous. It's very pretty. I do want to leave it though for my like full review of the product. I just wanted to show you guys that I have it. Let me swatch it really quick too. But I am enjoying it. I think it applies really nicely over top of like powder or not powder, which is always nice. And yeah, it just looks like that. Because I am planning on doing a full review on that line, I did want to use a different blush that I've been trying out. It is a cream blush and it is from the drugstore. It is the Milani Cheek Kiss in Nude Kiss. It just looks like this. Let me actually swatch them next to each other. They feel like they are kind of similar. So the Nude Kiss right here is a little lighter and has a little bit more pink to it, but yeah, they're pretty similar. But I am going to apply a little bit of this cream blush to my cheeks. I am spritzing my skin with All Nighter. So the Makeup by Mario brand did gift me the Master Mattes Pro Lip Palette, which that was super exciting. I love a good lip palette. I really like the Anastasia lip palette. I kind of wish that they never kind of like discontinued it or made it like difficult for people to buy. So that's the color that I ended up making, and let's try it out. I think it matches the look really well. I really like that color. The colors that I used to create that shade were this shade, that one, that kind of like reddy brown, and then the yellow, and then a little bit of the white. And then Makeup by Mario also sent over 3 of their lip glosses, which are stunning. I have the Golden Nude, which looks like that. That's the gloss. And then I also have Rose Nude. Rose Nude is right there. And then lastly, I have Mauve Nude. That's mauve nude. I think I'm gonna use a little bit of rosy nude, or rose nude. I'm gonna use a little bit of rose nude. All right, so some quick final thoughts. First of all, the Liss brand, so their foundation, primer, I have like their bronzer, cream blush, and translucent powder with me. I am going to be doing a full review on this line, so if you guys have any questions about this line or just questions about the products, leave them down below because I will be doing a full review, but I am still working with them. I would say like today's kind of base makeup is a little bit of a fail. I kind of think I used it a little bit too much of the primer, and that's why my makeup is kind of peeling a little bit, especially around my mouth and my nose. It's annoying. It's something that I've kind of dealt with while using these products a little bit, but I am committed to figuring out what it is. Also, let me know what you guys think about me getting a different shade in the Liss foundation. It would be my third bottle, which I knew it was risky getting 2 shades because I was like, I know I'm gonna use like only one of them, but now I need a third one because these 2 shades just don't match me. It's annoying, it's a waste of money and product, but I want to give you guys a thorough review. And I always feel like I can't fully enjoy a foundation unless it's like a perfect shade match for me, especially since I feel like I'm using this foundation mainly while being mixed together because that's what helps me kind of get my perfect shade. Brow freeze I'm really liking. I will continue using it. I definitely need to be doing a better job kind of wiping my brows clean and also cleaning my spoolie end of my Anastasia number 12 brush. I need to be doing a better job at that because I know the application of the brow freeze will go way more smoothly. But yeah, I really like the brow freeze. If you guys haven't already watched my full face of NYX, I tried out a lot of NYX products this month. I didn't really include any in this video because I had a lot of NYX products already and I tried out them and I already have like a full face of NYX on my channel. So that was my last video, I believe. So check out that video if you haven't already seen it, but I did feature a lot of NYX products in there and the NYX brow glue. But moving on quickly to my Urban Decay Naked Wild West palette. I really like the look that I was able to create today, but I'm sure that I'm able to create this look in other palettes as well. Again, this is what the palette looks like. It's cute. I mean, I'm sure the blue shades are fun for people who like color and blue, but that's just really not me. I'm kind of surprised at myself that I even used and touched the silvery shade in this palette. And I actually don't hate it. I think it looks really nice with the rest of the colors in my look today and my sweater. It kind of matches my sweater a bit. But yeah, this palette is okay. If you're into this color scheme or maybe you like want to complete your naked collection, go for it, purchase it, but it's really not necessary and it's definitely not my favorite naked palette. Kosas Cloud Set is a total miss for me. The bronzer I also didn't like from Kosas, and it's kind of like in the same packaging, and yeah, it's just a total miss for me. I really am liking this Milani blush. I think it looks beautiful on the skin, and anytime I've worn it, I've been really happy with like the wear and the finish and the appearance of it. So yeah, great drugstore cream blush. Really into lip palettes. I think the Makeup by Mario lip palette, I think that the lip color that I was able to create dropped dead gorgeous, and I'm so excited to just be playing with this more often. The lip glosses from this brand are also gorgeous. I am so thankful that they thought to send me product. I had my eye on the brand for a little while and I wasn't really like going to purchase anything just because it was like just another brand, but the products are actually really nice and beautiful, and the packaging is really nice. These are gorgeous, but they are at the end of the day lip glosses, and you can totally find something very similar at the drugstore for way cheaper. But I will continue using these because they are so pretty. And we didn't get to go into the eyeshadow palette at all today, but I love this eyeshadow palette. I think it's so cute, and I will definitely be continuing to wear it you know, from here on out. And lastly, I really wish that I was able to fully try out the Revlon Color Stay, but I have been liking it to mix in with the Liss foundation, which is a little bit more of a full coverage foundation. So for right now, I am going to be just like kind of keeping these around in case I have a more full coverage and darker toned foundation that I need to lighten up in both ways, lighten up color wise and lighten up consistency wise. But yeah, let me know if I should go ahead and reach out to Revlon and ask them to send me one that's like a little bit closer to my skin tone, because I would love to like fully use it and review it. But that is going to be it from me today. I ended up spending a little bit more time than I wanted to filming, so I really have to get out of here, pack my bag, and get to work. But let me know how you guys are liking the monthly roundups, and let me know what you guys tried out this month. Maybe I will see one of the products that you guys have been liking and want to try it out for the month of March. If you aren't already subscribed, definitely go ahead and do so, and hopefully I see you next time.